My name is Katie Morsman. I'm going to be doing a peer review for Carly Brown's narrative assignment. Um, I think that Carly definitely, she understood the requirements for the project. From her photos, it's very evident that she constructed a narrative and she brought them to life through her pictures. Um, and I assume that she chose either the themes Nightmare, Vice. I think her photos could fall into either category. Um, they feature a young woman who's obviously battling some sort of substance abuse. I think Carly uses the elements and principles of design and photography really well in her photos. Right off the bat, her use of color is pretty obvious, as all the pictures are in black and white. I think the black and white also provides a contrast, which kind of sets the tone for her images, like kind of a somber tone. There's also like quite a bit of movement going on in the pictures. Sometimes in the background with like the subject. Sometimes it's you know in the foreground with the subject moving around. And I think that adds like a feeling of chaos to her images, which to me is maybe what someone like the subject would be feeling, some sort of chaos that could only be controlled by her substance abuse. Um, the use of line is also evident in this photo. I thought this was a really interesting picture. Let's see if I can find it. Right here. I think the next one, no. So this photo, I like I think these are like some sort of streamers or wall hangings. Um, they kind of direct your eye down the picture towards the subject drinking. There's kind of a lot of white space at the top, and as you move down, there's more things going on. I thought that was really cool to use line in that way. Also, she uses a lot of kind of like focus and like emphasis. She uses a lot of emphasis in her pictures. Um, Here we go. This is a good one. This shows like the emphasis on the pill bottle and the pills, the magazine, and then in the background, there's the subject who is obviously drinking some sort of alcohol. But I think the fact that the camera's focused here, this is in the background, um, it kind of like really adds to the picture. She uses emphasis in a lot of different places too. Um, like here, the emphasis is kind of on the subject with the bottles of pills and the alcohol kind of in front of the subject, which I think also is cool. It kind of changes, I guess, the message of the picture, and kind of helps tell the story of what's going on. Her pictures, I definitely think they seem kind of hyper real. Like they seem real, like this is something that could happen. They don't seem like surreal or like in like a fairy tale or anything, but they're almost like too real. Which I think, because just like all the pills, all the alcohol, and all the drinking and the substance abuse that's going on, I think definitely creates that kind of unnatural feeling that I get from these pictures. I think obviously Carly's pictures are about a young woman, probably in college, from the decor of the house, maybe in a sorority, that is struggling with substance abuse, and possibly some sort of like body dysmorphia, like comparing herself to the women in the magazines that she's looking at. So possibly she's abusing these different substances to maybe try and look like them or try to get over the stress that she doesn't look like them or the depression that she's feeling. Yeah, that's kind of the story that I'm getting from these. I think it's pretty obvious, like what's going on in these pictures. And one of the pictures, you can really tell how overwhelmed she feels, like right here, where she's like got her hands to her head. There's another one where she's her hands on her face. It kind of just shows you that obviously this woman is struggling. She's not doing this just for fun. The best images I really liked, let me find it in here. This one I think was probably my favorite, just because I really like the focus on the things in the foreground and then the action in the background. I think that's really cool. And then I also really like this one. like I said, she has her hands on her face. You know, you can see the pain that the subject is experiencing, which I think is important to the story. Because in some of them she's laughing, where it might seem like, oh, like she's just having a good time, but here it gets through to you that this is someone who's struggling with an abuse problem. The images, maybe the weakest images, I would say, are this image, just because I think I see the movement, but it's maybe too blurry. I can't really tell like what's going on or what the subject is feeling. Another one that I noticed was maybe not the best. This one, it's got the lines in the background, but I can't really see what it says. I think there's just like a lot of light in this one. And the subject is like laughing. I don't know. That could just be me missing the point, but I think those are probably the weakest. But otherwise, the photos are very strong and really good. I think to improve the narrative and the images for the final, well, first I think Carly did a really good job. These photos are really great, and they're definitely depicting a really clear story. And the only thing I would maybe suggest is like get, I don't know, like more of a like closer to the subject, maybe so you can see her facial expressions more, to like kind of connect the subject to the audience a little bit more, because I did notice that her face is kind of shadowed, which I think is good for most of them, but like maybe just like a few where you can see her face a little bit more. And that's all, and I think Carly did a really good job.